Bonnie, it's 7 o'clock.
Sorry. You're our true son. You know it's 7.
Good evening. I call to order this regular meeting of the Minnehaha County Planning Commission, and I will begin with a few introductory comments. As a courtesy to everyone here tonight, please make sure that all cell phones have been silenced. Please note that tonight's Planning Commission meeting will be rebroadcast via CityLink and posted on the www.minnehahacounty.gov site for viewing by the general public. Any final action taken on the conditional use permit applications tonight will take effect 5 working days following this meeting, unless a written appeal of the Planning Commission's decision is filed in the Planning Office by Monday, September 30th at 5 p.m. In the event of an appeal, the decision will be referred to the County Commission for a hearing on Tuesday, October 15th at or after 9 a.m. The affected parties will be notified of the meeting date, and meetings of the County Commission will be held in this same room. Any action taken on the preliminary plan during the public hearing tonight is a recommendation that will be forwarded to the County Commission for another public hearing on Tuesday, October 15th at or after 9 a.m. Meetings of the County Commission are held in this same room. First on the agenda is public input. Is there anyone who wishes to speak to an item that is not on the agenda? At this time, the Planning Commission will consider the consent agenda. Items on the consent agenda are perceived to be non-controversial and meet all of the requirements of the codes and regulations. The consent agenda will be acted on in one motion with no public hearing on the items unless a member of the public, the commission, or staff requests the item be removed from the consent agenda. The minutes from the August 26, 2024 meeting are included in the consent agenda. Next, I'll read each item on the consent agenda and ask if there are any issues or comments from the Planning Commission or the audience. If any member of the Planning Commission or the audience would like to be heard on the item, please raise your hand and the item will be moved to the regular agenda to allow you to address the commission later in the meeting. Any items remaining on the consent agenda will be approved by the Planning Commission with the conditions recommended by staff. Item number 1 is the approval of the minutes of the August 26, 2024 meeting. Item number 2 is conditional use permit 24-43 to exceed 3,600 square feet of accessory building space, requesting 4,060 square feet on the property legally described as Tract 5, Baker's Tracts. There is an exception of the south 491 feet, end of exception. Section 13, Township 101 North, Range 48 West, that is the Split Rock Township. The petitioner and the property owner is James Ike, located at 26485 484th Avenue. Is there anyone from the audience, the commission, or staff wish to be heard on this item? Item number 3 is conditional use permit 24-44 to transfer two building eligibilities from the northeast quarter, the southwest quarter, and the northwest quarter, southwest quarter, to the northwest quarter, the northwest quarter, all within Section 29, Township 101 North, Range 47 West. That is in Valley Springs Township. Petitioners Raymond, Carol, David, and Nancy Funke. They are also the property owners, located approximately 4.5 miles east of Sioux Falls. Anyone from the staff, the commission, or the audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 4, conditional use permit 24-45 to transfer one building eligibility from the northeast quarter, the southwest quarter, to the southwest quarter, all within the southwest quarter. There is an exception the Severding addition, end of exception. Section 25, Township 103 North, Range 52 West. That is in Clear Lake Township. Petitioner and property owner is Robert Severding, located approximately 3 miles northeast of Humboldt. Anyone from the staff, the commission, or the audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 5, conditional use permit 24-46 to transfer one building eligibility from the northeast quarter, the southwest quarter, to the northwest quarter, the southwest quarter, all within the southwest quarter. There is an exception of Dolly's addition, end of exception. Section 27, Township 103 North, Range 48 West. That is in Edison Township. The petitioner and property owner is Trent Dolly. The location is approximately 3 miles southwest of Garrettson. Anyone from the commission, staff, or audience wish to be heard on this item? Item number 6 is a preliminary subdivision plan, 24-01, to allow the subdivision of Evermore Estates addition in Section 12, Township 104 North, Range 49 West. That is in Del Rapids Township. The petitioner is DGR Engineering. Contact is Jacob Morris. Property owner is the Jokers LLC. The location is approximately 2 miles east of Del Rapids along Jasper Street. Anyone from the commission, staff, or audience wish to be heard on this item?
Madam Chair, could we move item number 6 to the regular agenda, please?
Okay. Okay, commissioners, items 1 through 5.
I'll make a motion, excuse me, to approve items 1 through 5.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion to approve consent agenda items number 1 through 5. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. If your item has been approved, you're free to go. Item number 6, Kevin?
All right. Good evening. I'm Kevin Hookman from the County Planning Department. Item number 6 is a preliminary subdivision plan. As read as petitioner is DGR Engineering and the property owner is Jokers LLC. The applicant submitted the preliminary subdivision plan for a new subdivision of 12 buildable lots. It is located at the intersection of Jasper Street and 478th Avenue. You can kind of see it there in the plan. And Jasper Street is on the north here. So staff has reviewed section 4.01 of the Minnehaha County subdivision ordinance, and the proposal does meet all requirements for that subdivision ordinance, including detailed information for topographic information, typical cross sections for the road, grading and drainage plan, and erosion plan. The sizes in the lot are approximately 4.5 to 10.5 acres in size, varying in size. And each property will have their own on-site wastewater disposal systems. There's no collective wastewater disposal systems, and they will be designed at the time of the each residential house is being built. The primary road running through the subdivision right here is Blue Stem Place. It does connect both Jasper Street and 478th Avenue. I will note that both these streets that it's connecting are paved roads, so the interior roads here will also have to be paved according to the ordinance. And also, the applicant will also need to work with the highway department for access permits on these locations where they're at. The secondary road, the Wild Rise Circle, it kind of extends further west. On the street, both of these roads are labeled as private roads, and they shall either be constructed as full-built roads before platting of the property, or the applicant or the petitioner needs to post surety in the amount of the cost of the roads before platting. The applicant will be required to provide road signs and must obtain those through the highway department. The applicant did provide a detailed road drawing here, shown on this page here in the grading plan. At least one cross section of the road. This generally covers how the roads are going to be constructed. There's also an erosion control plan, which is to prevent water from running off the property or in silt carrying off the property. The petitioner should be aware that this project may be large enough to require a state general permit, and they will have to obtain that through the state of South Dakota. Since this does meet requirements, staff is recommending approval of the preliminary subdivision plan with 2 conditions. That the developer must purchase all standard road signs, including but not limited to street name signs and stop signs from the county highway department. And number 2, that the developer shall either construct the streets to meet minimum standards or post acceptable surety to construct the streets with the county prior to final platting of the lots. And I'm ready for any questions.
Madam Chair?
Go ahead, Doug.
Well, thank you, Kevin. I just got a couple questions. What is the property like right now directly to the north and to the east?
See if I have a photo of it. So directly north of here, there's a small farm with a small CAFO there. And then further north, there is a larger farm. I don't know if that's a full operating CAFO or not. That one's hard to tell. And then what direction to the east?
To the east, yes.
To the east is just ag field here with one residence right here.
My biggest concern, should there be a right to farm put on this?
So it is a requirement of all the houses to have a right to farm notice on each property.
Okay.
It was also a requirement of the conditional use permits.
Yes.
Okay.
So Kevin, can I just jump in here? As a refresher, we already relocated all these building eligibilities. This isn't the traditional plan unit development, in essence, in my mind, that we would conditionally consider. And you correct me if I'm wrong, Kevin, but I believe that's what we're kind of looking at here too, is meeting before, 2 meetings before, we actually approved moving all these eligibilities to this location. And at that time, it was actually a requirement that I added to the eligibilities at that time. So, yeah, to your point, Doug, there actually, I think there is that stipulation above and beyond on these particular lots that the right to farm notice be filed.
Yep.
Okay. And then just, you know the laws better than I. That they're fairly sizable lots, 4.5 to 10.5 acres. Is there anything that prevents them down the road, say a couple lots right next to each other, could take a parcel off and subdivide that? Or is this just the way it will be? There will be no additional housing eligibilities on this property?
Since the subdivision is being divided with building eligibilities, the only way they'd be subdivided further is after rezoning. So they would have to go through a whole process of rezoning in order to subdivide any. And we have generally, as a planning commission, has discouraged spot zoning like that.
Okay, thank you very much. You answered my
Yes.
questions.
Okay, any other questions for him?
Madam Chair, and just to clarify that zone, it's currently agriculture and it would stay A1 agriculture
Correct.
in this action. Thank you.
Okay,
Madam Chair,
go ahead.
you have in there that all of the private subdivision roads they'll have to address the maintenance. So will that be a requirement before this is finalized? Because I know sometimes in the past, it seems like no one's in charge of the roads and then people are back because it's a problem.
So it will be a requirement in the platting of the property that the maintenance of the road is either addressed as a private road or shown that it's being accepted by the local road authority.
Any other questions for him? Okay, is the petitioner here? Step forward, state who you are, your address.
Yeah, good evening. Riley Reinhardt, DGR Engineering, here to speak on behalf of the owner and developer. I think the staff report said it well, so I don't have a lot to add about what we're asking here. But it's just, like you said, asking to use the 12 eligibilities that are there to create this subdivision that meets the county's subdivision ordinance. Be happy to answer any questions. One other thing I'll add is that it is the intent of the owner and developer to establish a road district of basically the same as the HOA to be responsible for road maintenance on these streets. So be happy to answer any other questions you have of me.
Doug, you had yours answered? Yep. Okay, anyone else? Okay, thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Okay, anyone else in the audience care to address this item? Are you three gentlemen together? Okay. Okay, commissioners.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to approve with the two conditions or recommendations by staff.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second to approve the preliminary subdivision plan 24-01. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Move on to old business. Scott?
Old business. I guess under old business, I will just remind you that tomorrow is the, under old business, tomorrow is the second reading of the rezoning up at Lyons. So that's in front of the county commission. That was recommended from your last meeting at denial. So just FYI, that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. here in this room.
New business?
So under new business, we had the opportunity to run everyone a full copy of the Envision 2045 plan, and we provided that to you. In addition, so that was for your review of the complete packet. I mean, we've gone through every chapter, and this is for your review. Furthermore, we have prepared a flyer that is in front of you. If you'd help us out, and if you know of someplace that you could post this next month in your community or wherever you feel someone could see it, that would be great. If you know of someone, pass it along. If you need more, let us know. We'd be glad to answer any questions that you have, any further comments on this. We do have our public hearings scheduled. And then if there are no further questions or comments, I would ask that you would entertain authorizing staff to set the hearing date for your review, the formal public hearing at the November meeting. And that would be the Monday after the last meeting on the 21st. So on that Monday, the 25th, you could have a public hearing on the adoption of the comprehensive plan. Now, the benefit of that is I just want to make sure you realize you're not tied into having to approve it that night. If you're not ready to approve it, if there's something that comes up out of the weeds from these meetings that you want to address, you can continue the public hearing at that night on the 25th. You would have to continue it to a later meeting. The next possible meeting would be January because we don't have a meeting in December. I just felt that maybe this is a way that we could expedite the adoption of this because it gives us plenty of time to prepare the hearing notice. We'll have the public hearings. We can also then, if we have the public hearing set, we also can tell the people at the meetings that you are having your public hearing on Monday, the 25th. And if they want to attend, I think it just feeds and flows right into getting people. If we do have people, we can tell them, hey, we're going to listen to you, if you show them what we have. And I have some ideas on how we're going to run the public meetings, but then also invite them to attend if they so wish. a public hearing on the 25th in front of the planning commission to address their thoughts with you. So, any questions or comments?
I guess I have a comment. I've been on this comprehensive plan before, but these public hearings really sometimes open up questions from people on the outside, which we sometimes don't always think of. That's what it usually, or
Hoping, I
or
mean,
they'll
I
address it.
wanna make sure we have an open
Right,
forum where we can have people, say good or bad, what they like or don't like.
Right.
And we're gonna we will have a presentation that's gonna go over some of the changes. I mean, some of it is, relatively boring for the average person, population projections and stuff like, that is not gonna be of high interest to people, but there are gonna be certain things that are gonna be of very high interest, like future development, future growth, and what people see, what people feel is appropriate, so you never know what's gonna happen.
sure. And, you're welcome to attend them too. It's open, the commissioners as well. And I'll try to attend the one in Brandon. It's a city hall? Really? Okay.
We had trouble finding places.
Oh, I understand that. Yeah, okay.
So Scott, are you looking for a formal motion then?
I would just, if you would just make a motion to authorize staff to publish the hearing notice for the 25th of November, we'll get it prepared and get it in the papers.
I will make that motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion?
I wanted to ask a question. But,
Oh, sorry. Well, you can do that now.
Yeah.
okay. I am, people are very ignorant out there. So when you say small scale farm, are we talking acres? Are we talking dollars generated off that farm?
I think it was acres, wasn't it? I think it was classified under acreages.
And where is your break at then?
I don't know right off the top of my head. Isn't it listed in there?
I think the intent was less than 40 acres because it's classified as ag at 40 acres
Okay.
for equalization purposes. And then once it gets smaller than that, it's small scale farms.
Okay, I just want that clarified and, so, okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, I have a motion and a second on the floor. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Any
Okay,
oth-
thank you. One last item under new business. I wanted the commission to know that there are gonna be 2 vacancies on the planning commission. Doug's term expires at the end of this year, and Ryan Vandervliet's expires. And Doug. I'm sure this year. I double checked. So this time I provided you I printed this out for you, Doug. I had one for Ryan if you're interested, to fill out for the form. I'll be working with the county commission office. We'll be putting out the typical press release and soliciting names and go through that process. But just a heads up that will be coming up. I mean, it seems hard to believe, but the end of the year is rapidly approaching. So that's it. That's all I have.
Okay. Anyone have anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
Oppose? Motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Sorry I was 2 minutes late. We were